Well, I think the whole IDO is a highlight, to say it quite clear. I always, in my mind, I always say the IDO is now is not an unpolished diamond. It is, we are polishing it now, but it's not finished.
Well, my biggest highlights, of course, is taking, first of all, taking all my national team to compete abroad and making it possible. It wasn't easy. And also my first time dancing in Venice, like I said, seeing our first world dance champion in 1993, Aaron Caballero, in this wonderful competition in Duna Jugados, held and organized by Pita Santo.
One was my last world championship in street dance, which I did in Graz. It was really a great experience because of all this young people seeing dancing there and having fun. It's so exciting always when you see this kids and boys and girls who are really excited to be at the championship, and that's the reason why I'm working in the IDO.
Well, one of the highlights was when we started the first competition in Seoul in South Korea in the Olympic Hall. Actually, it was the Olympic Hall where the Olympic Games have been. For me, that was history in IDO. And a year later, I was in Chengdu in China, where we had the first IDO event, hip-hop event in China. It was very small at that time, but that was something very, very special, very special. On the other hand, it was very special to have IDO Jazz and Modern World Championships in Canada. Bonnie Dyer did this very well in Toronto, and late Bill Fowler and Gloria Jean with the IDO Jazz. I think it was Jazz and Contemporary in the Sheraton Towers in New York City. So then we spread out to different countries, and for me that was more than something. We were, at that time, we were a real world federation.
And the other one was the salsa competition in Colombia, in Cali, where I organized this together with the sports director of the WDSF, Marcos Yetas. And that was really a great experience because it was in a bullfight arena with about 14,000 people on the first day and 16,000 the second day. And
after the other highlights moment in IDO, when I start to organize an international competition, because I like to organize an event, I like so much, and then Torino, and then Montecatini, and then Eboli, and Sardinia, and I like this part of job.
And that was in 2001. Then we managed to host another Disco World Champs, and then obviously running the 2 Commonwealth Cup events, Yeah, that was also a big highlight for me in being part of IDO.
The first time when I came in Ruiza, I don't remember the year. It was first time, it was European Championship, and Michael inviting me with my formation to came day before to present what is really show dance to the government people.
To judge on Broadway is something I always tell people because that sounds very good. It was a world championship in 2007.
When I'm thinking back about really good memories, it's again Porto Roche, because it was in the beginning, and it was always a wonderful atmosphere, which is on many places. But of course, South Africa, Sun City, South Africa was amazing. The first time we had competition there, and South Africa was involved. Dunaj Varos in Hungary, very special. Gubkin in Russia, it's so many places.
One special moment for me when I judged the first international competition, because when you judge it in the national level, the people around you, the colleagues, the director of competition, and so on and so on. Then when I arrived in Porto Rose, I remember Ivona from Poland judged with me, and then Mimi Marceta from Slovenia judged with me, and then of course now they are friends, but in this time I didn't know them.
Le premier, c'était quand j'ai gagné la première fois world champion disco dance. Ici.
Wow.
His most beautiful memory in IDEO, he's the first award that he won in 1985, and this is this award. And he said that another thing that that was and still is important for him are the people that he met and with whom he is still in contact today.
It is IGM from Jincheon from Korea.
Oh, wow.
Because different culture, different long way, different new experience. Very good player for bell.
Drums.
For drums.
For drums.
Good 4 players and 2 girls play very exciting for me. It is super.
Get a lot of friends there. Actually, this is very important thing because step dance championship. It's of course competition, but everybody there was super friendly, and you know, I found my family. I found my dance family, and it was fantastic.
Another moment that he really enjoyed is the parade of the nations, where since that IDEO were more extended in the world, there were more country, and this is a moment where he sees all the country in this parade. It was very magical for him. And then in 1992, when he stopped dancing in competitions, he was the president of the Swiss Federation, and he organized an European Championship. Comment ça s'appelle déjà?
Europa Dance.
Europa Dance.
The most interesting thing, besides the organization, how the organization has grown and been professional, is to meet people and see the different cultures and learn about the different cultures and how you should treat, because we have the same interest and we have the same goal, and how we should find the right way with the different countries and different people. That had been the most interesting part for me.
I guess the greatest highlight was meeting so many people from so many different countries and being welcomed by them. They really made me feel part of the IDEO family, and it definitely is a family. That's a huge highlight.
Of course, the first time to be in IDEO was great, and the first time judging, and then because you come from a certain country, everybody comes from somewhere. The first time Finland won gold in World Championships in Montecatini di Terme 1989, that was incredible to hear our national anthem played there. But I think that the most memorable moments have been all the meetings and all the, we call them, as you know, we call them underground committee, when we had the official meeting, and then we have the unofficial meetings where we all, people from different countries, have fun and talk dance and talk everything else. Those have been, it's so valuable, and it's been incredible, actually.
I mean, one of my highlights for IDEO is meeting all these wonderful, wonderful people that I can truly call and cherish as friends.
And of course, what I like most about IDEO is our meetings. When you meet at competitions, when you spend time not only while judging, but also in between. Then, of course, our AGMs in different wonderful, wonderful places, and our reunion dinners, which is always amazing and big fun and really very nice. And I like that in many competitions, we are really a big team and big family. Especially, that's my favorite. I hope nobody will feel offended, but I think that our best community is step community.
It's not a competition in between people to be in the Presidium, because it is very hard work, and it is always involved you in the process. You have to be in touch with all the Presidium member with your duties.
Keeping me with IDEO for such a long time is to meet all these different people from all over the world, not only on the competition, not only on meetings. For me, it's so important to meet them later, sit together at the bar or sit together at the dinner and exchange experience and exchange private life.
I didn't understand it in the very beginning because I didn't come from a dance background, but it truly has changed my life.
Was the lecture I attended in Portoroz with Matthias on that sports psychology. That was like really something that I always remember so clearly in my mind, especially in Portoroz with that open arena. You know, it was just something completely different. So that is one thing I remember clearly. And I also performed in IDO in a formation in 1998. So, and becoming a judge was also another highlight for me in IDO.
Highlights is every time when I go to IDO competition, for me, for my heart is highlight full of, you know, good energy, you know.
Every day, every new competition, I am surprised how dancers and dance itself is developing and how it grows.
Of course, Mikołajki and later Ossa, that was the most important event for me. From 2008, we are organizer there, World Champs. It is incredible because I think at these 20 years to Poland, to World Dance Week, coming more than 40,000 dancers.
Of course, the main highlight, I think, is the dancers and the dancing and the bar that has been raised every year by the teachers and choreographers. The technical level is just grown so dramatically.
When you ask me for IDO competition, I'd like it, you know, because you have a lot of different, you know, choreographies, you know, you have some stupid thing to see, you know, but I always, you know, look that I spare 12 hours, you know, in Holland. I'm not tired, you know, when I go back.
One of the most beautiful things was when my couple won the first title of the world champions, and then you are there and you see your students, your work, and you share the joy and all the beautiful memories. Yes, as a dancer you have some memories, but being there, giving your knowledge to somebody else and they are happy, and then you say, okay, this is something.
I became the European champion in 2000 in show dance solo children category. That was my first big thing to win. And then in disco dance, I was 4 times a world champion, and in show dance solo also 4 times a world champion. So, and I was in the podium for all of my years in junior in disco dance solo. And once we had the world champion title in a small group with Grazia, so it was also a pleasure to try that out, to have to be a world champion in a small group category.
I mean, most of this stuff on this were actually all world championship titles, so it's not important. They were all world champions from different people. But when they remember what you did, the story, the team, the idea, I think this counts to me the most. I'm really honored that people remember my work.
There are many highlights, but one of the first incredible highlights was this New York that I was telling you about. That was 2006 and 7. I think Boston was 2006 and New York was 2007. And that's when I fell in love. And I met so many dancers from overseas. Like, that was the very first moment that I started to see IDO as a very, very, very international organization?
For the like a dancer, my highlight is definitely 5 world champion titles. But now, as a choreographer and coach with juniors and adults team, we won numerous titles of European champions and world champions, and each victory is for me highlight. My highlight is probably from 2018 when my adults team became world champion in all disciplines of show dance. And also next year when we almost repeated our success. And highlight is also the first victory at the Gala IDEO World event, and 2020 when my team achieved first 4 places at the Gala World event, best of the best in IDEO.
I remember the World Championships in 2019 in Czech Republic, and when I was dancing solo, and like kind of everything worked kind of well, so I had a really nice feeling. And this is also one memorable moment, like yeah, so you have different really nice moments, or especially like the first day when you enter the hall and see all your friends from the other countries again. These are also like really small moments, but really nice to remember and give you a really nice feeling.
We won 110 medals in salsa, bachata, merengue, Caribbean, Latin show, in European World Championship and World Cup. And we have 63 first place, 39 second place, and 8 third place.
I think probably one of the first highlights we had was 2010, where we won our first gold medal. And it was back in the day when they would hold up the scorecards as well in the junior section. But because I was, like, we're not going to do anything for ages and ages, I can remember them holding ones up. But for some reason, I just went into, like, my parents started to celebrate, and like the dancers going, oh my God. I was like, no, not until they announce it, until we know it's official. No. Which now I'm like, oh my, you stupid thing. Of course it was. So I think that was a real highlight. And then I think another biggie was 2013. I think that was a really big year for us because we won our first formation, which is obviously such a massive thing to be able to get in tap dance. Everyone wants to get that one. And also the same year, we did also win the adult small group. And it was the first time, and I don't think they've ever done it since, they were asked to dance again. So obviously the formation is asked to do the winner's dance, but Michael wanted to do a winner's dance for the small group that year as well. So I'd say that was a really big highlight.
Even in Riza, again in Riza, that I made Chicago formation from musical Chicago. And my dancers really loved that formation. And in the final, they start to singing the words, and audience stand up and clap of them.
Wow.
They don't win that competition. They were second, but that feeling, how dancers enjoy on the stage in front of the audience, and power of those dancers, I will never forget.
Actually, we became 2 times of the World Championship in show dance, and we've been in finalists in the jazz dance and show dance in different years also. And I become after the IDEO judge and together with Russia, we have in Russia a lot of national awards and the national medals of like Hope of Russia and the best in the modern dance develop.
Korean dancer, very good level, very for modern, for example, for hip hop. It is new experience for me.
My first most memorable experience was seeing the kids exchanging their pins and mementos with each other, and the eagerness, and thinking, gee, I just wish our politicians could could be like this.
It's really been an enjoyable time. And I don't say I go to the work. I said that's my life.
You must have a lot of anecdotes or experiences in the IDO. No, I remember when I was a dancer and we were traveling to Hungary, and the customs didn't want to allow us to pass because of one of the costumes. But I'm sure you have many experiences as well.
Yes.
Maybe the one with volleyball, no? Maybe the one with volleyball.
No. Well, I have so many. The one you were saying, actually, it was one of the electric boogie competition. As you know, the dance used to robotic movements. So this friend of mine, dancer Nathan Conrad, he took a costume dressed like a robot, and he had a small box in front of him, all covered in foil. And on the way back, the flight was at 1 o'clock in the afternoon. But when he passed custom, the custom there saw this package all sealed up. It looked like a bomb. They didn't let us pass. The alarm went off, and we nearly missed that flight. It was in Dunajų. And Villebo, my good friend, I met him as a judge. Villebo. Now he's the president. Lucky guy. Congratulations, Villebo. And in one of the competition, we had this national competition in Hungary, and they serve coffee, coffee and biscuits, and coffee and biscuit. You know what happens with the combination, no? So yes, we had a great fun. I was saying, Villebo, have another coffee. And I myself have to stop the competition because I had to go to the toilet. Yes, a lot of good memories, anecdotes. Very, very, very. Also your trousers, Seamus, when you rip your trousers.
Oh my God, yeah. Riza.
One of the world competition.
Riza 2007.
And all the judges will say, whoa, I think you reached the semi-final for that.
I did, thank God. But that was 2007.
One from our first competition in Portorož, in 1997, that was open air theater. And in that time, there were no roof. Roof was next year's, but first year was no roof. And so that means that every single day I asked local people, how would we weather together today? Because it was really, we had to finish the competition. We couldn't stop it, but we had one small hole inside, but it was much smaller. And what happened, of course, all days was beautiful sun. You could see the judges, how they judged that competition at 2 o'clock afternoon. But every day it was nice weather. But of course, last night, rain came. Last number, it was formations. Formations were the last discipline, and it was 6 formations in the final, and the last one was from Poland. I will always remember. And then we had to stop competition because it was too rainy.
If they call and they ask you to do something, or if someone says, will you fly to Germany to go to a birthday party? You don't say, let me think about it. You just say, what day is it, and can I get there the day before? We were asked to go to a friend's wedding through IDO. We traveled to South Africa for a wedding. When we tell people in the United States, because it's a little different here.
Of course, I will always remember Istanbul, where we had a boat trip and we all get hijacked. The boat took us far away, and we went into a restaurant, and then the boat went away, and no one should come and pick us up. That was an interesting part, very interesting part, which you never forget. Yeah.
Every person in our life has heard us speak of IDO, Michael Wendt, and even you. They don't know who you are, but we speak so frequently because it's our life and what we live that we even speak of you on first name terms. And people in our family and in our lives, they don't ask, oh, who's Seamus? Who's Michael? They know who you are. They know who Fiona is. And, so many of you. I mean, and even like I was speaking yesterday to a friend, Ron Daniels. We I live now in Florida, where we're very close friends, and we were speaking about Gloria, and in referencing Gloria in conversation, he knew that I wasn't speaking of Gloria Jean Kooming. I was speaking of Gloria Fish. And, you know, that's what really has meant a lot to me. It's that we have added on to our family with IDO.
Another person that was judged was Mrs. Weber from Germany. She was the one that actually invented or brought the show dance into the IDO. A very nice person. And in Lyon there, she had her husband with her, and we went out to a restaurant. And outside the restaurant, it was a big cow hanging from a hook outside the restaurant. So I wonder what kind of restaurant it is. And then she told me when they come to Lyon, they always go to this restaurant, and it was specialized in the inner meat, you know, liver and heart and all sort of things inside the cow. So they ordered this, and I had to taste it. It wasn't not very much to my likings, but it was a nice experience. Yes.
Michael went, and Krista were always so very, very gracious. And the night before competition started, they always had us to dinner. And the very first one was at the Sachsenhof Hotel. And they had a hot table, and I'd never been to a hot table. And Velibor was the chef. And I remember how dramatic he was with those spices. And it was just so much fun.
1990, when we had the World Championship in Lucerne in Switzerland. Can you believe that the winner who won the disco freestyle, he won a car? He got a car. So there have been those crazy days. And
and back to Michael Wendt, he was always so creative and so dramatic about his entrances at the finals. And I will never forget the night he came in on the motorcycle into the arena. Do you remember that?
I do remember.
The memories from Michael opening up the competition in the mornings with Good Morning.
That's
to the wonderful awards, and him, you know, he and Ralph saying, take hands, and them coming forward, and the raising of the flags, the singing of the national anthems of all the different countries.
We talked the whole night. Good morning to you. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning, everybody. Good morning, everybody. It's good you are here. Thank you.
Bill with his speech on Saturday night, always with break a leg. So for me, a very, very memorable experience. The night that Michael asked me as chairman, Bill had passed, unfortunately, to address the audience. And I didn't address the audience. I spoke to the kids. And I will never, I can never tell you, even I don't remember a word that I said, but I just remember feeling that I had gotten through to the kids and feeling them respond to me, and seeing those faces is a memory I treasure.
For me, Moreno Polidori, you know, was in white suit, you know, and he was Secretary General in that time, and he likes Yugoslavia very much. And I remember when Hanna Šeklo, when we have a general meeting and she want to say something to me, you know, Hanna, please tell me what you want to tell to me, and I will tell him what you like to tell, you know.
I remember traveling with Bill, flying to New York to travel with him to the AGM or to the meetings that we had, especially in Copenhagen, and getting on the train and going to these meetings. And it was always a pleasure traveling with Bill. He was always such a wonderful gentleman and always had a card to get into the lounges at every airport we were in. So it was great traveling with him.
We remember like Artur Cieciorsky, everybody who was competing in disco all the times remember this person. And there are many, many like this.
Gabriele Pallone was a symbol of international dancer for us in Italy. I invite him also in Montecatini when we organized the European Championship in disco dance. In this moment, Edoardo Ciolli represents one of the most important dancers in Italy and in the world because he won, I don't know, 23, 24 different world title and the European title.
Ideo Gala, world event, where you can see the best dancers, competitors. And why it's so important? Because Ideo Gala is a project where the dancers really receive the scholarships, and we acknowledge them for all the time, all the time they spend. They develop their dance knowledge, their technique, and then you see them standing there, world champion, one after another. That's so beautiful. And for me, the most memorable gala is the one that was dedicated to Bill.
I remember with a small group of disco dance, where dance Edoardo Ciolli, Massimiliano Casale, Raffaele Maffi, Alessandro De Muro.
Alessandro De Muro used to compete with Alessandro.
Yes, yes. And it was a great dancer in disco freestyle in time of the other guys from Poland that I don't remember the name.
Yes, Poland guy.
Yeah, and we created a small group in disco dance with the all meme, and it was a particularly choreography, and we won 2 titles in European and 2 in world. And it was nice because the dancers from different clubs that stay all together to represent Italy. It was a very nice experience. Stay all together to represent Italy. It was a very nice experience.
In IDO competition, always on time or just a little bit before, you know. So like when it was our first trip, when it was Cleopatra dance, and we come really in the second part of the competition because we're gonna have semi-final. And when we was already in the bus, we was in the Mason, we live in the Mason, so we need like 1.5 hours to come. And somebody calling us and said, oh, the competitions go forward, so you will start like in 10 minutes. And we was not ready, we was not changed, we was really in stress, we was run. And we was first team who started this semi-final, but actually was on time, you know, we did it, but it was full of stress. So, this like, and in other things that happened, like we've been dancing in Avatar dance. And actually in the final, we have, you know, this avatar tree with the lights. And then my guys try to put it on the final dance. You know, when you're in the final, you're amazing, you're in stress. And something happened with the wire, and the light is not put it on the nights, on the moments what it's necessary to be. You know, when I was standing behind the stage, I said, oh my God, why it's happened in the final, you know?
IDO Gala, ranking competitions, online master classes, online continent versus continent championships together with Bonnie. There have been quite a lot of projects, Tafisa, Erasmus Plus projects, different...
EUSA.
EUSA. At the end, if I go and make a click at every project, there's been quite a few very successful projects, you're right. But you know, it's for IDO, it's for our members. I don't see it so much as mine, but I see it as being part of IDO and pushing IDO to go the next steps.
The funny story from my side, when I just started to be in the Presidium, there was one friend of mine from Czech Republic who asked me to let him be first in the Presidium. I said yes, okay, I withdraw my proposal to be elected, and that your turn.
I think it was 2014 in beautiful Prague, and I shared the moderation with a very charming colleague from the Czech Republic, with Teresa, and it was a final night. Audience, the hall was fully packed with audience, and we all dressed up in gala, and now it was up to the production part, and the first production entered the stage, so it wasn't a floor, it was a stage. So higher. And we both did the moderation from the chair. And because the production team, I don't know where they came from, they had so many props and everything to bring on stage. So we moved a little bit backwards, but I moved a little bit too much. And then I fall down backwards with the chair, with my microphone in my hand. But thanks God, nothing happened. I wasn't injured at all. And I continued moderating from somewhere backstage and told the people, which were shocked, of course. You can imagine there was a sound of all the people, and then it was silence. And then I said, "Okay, I'm fine." And we continued. We didn't have a break. We continued the competition, so everything was okay.
The atmosphere is unbelievable. I work as a dancer, but the atmosphere is so much different if you are dancing in a theater or in an IDEO competition. Everyone is yelling, everyone's so proud of each other, and we made many friendships during the years and the days. I have a good friend, Rachele Russo from Italy. We met when we were in junior category. She didn't speak English, I didn't speak Italian, so it was no way to communicate, but we were so nervous for each other, so we were just hugging all the time, year by year, hugging each other, happy for each other. So I think that's one of the best memories I've ever had.
I have to give you my biggest example. There was a snowstorm in Germany, and they, first of all, someone stole my passport. I had no passport, no money, snowstorm, we couldn't get through. There was no planes going from Frankfurt to Riesa. I got there and no one knew where I was. They were calling all over the country looking for me. I'm like, oh my God, they're gonna think I'm dead somewhere. They have no idea. And finally I come 2 days later, traipsing through the snow. I wonder how I got there. I have no idea. I called Bonnie at the hotel with the last money I had, and they put me on hold. And I'm like, no, don't. No. And she comes to the phone, and I said, hello, and she clicks. It goes off. No more money to put in the machine. I'm like, oh, you've got to be kidding me. I'm sitting here. I'm like, what am I gonna do? I don't want to panhandle. I don't even know what panhandling is like, to ask someone for money.
Quello che ho avuto veramente paura.
One of the big experience and very particular in Spinner, it was when Renzo was supervisor in Tunisia, in the first World Championship in Tunisia.
1985.
Yes,
1985.
Yes.
In this time, the scrutineer worked by hand, not with the help of a computer. And usually, the scrutineer prepare all documents before at home to arrive at the competition. He prepared the sheet for the judges with a black pen, and he prepared all the information for judges on the sheet. Then you need to do this number of crosses or half crosses. You remember in this time we use also half crosses. In Tunisia was very, very hot, with a high degree and with the humidity. And the competition was only in the evening in the Cartagena Amphitheatre.
Yeah.
When started the competition, as we said, it was very hot and with high temperature and humidity. And when you watch the sheet, the number was disappear. And then start the competition, and he haven't the number of the dancer. And you can imagine with the Moreno Polidori with the microphone that introduced the dancer, and he cannot collect the vote of the judges. You can imagine Renzo.
Sì, caldo, morivo.
Very
allora,
hot competition.
Our first championship for disco, it was in Portorož, Slovenia. We came by bus with a dancer and start competition from rehearsal, and our Ukrainian dancers of course, dance Ukrainian disco. It was 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, something like that. And when they came on the stage to rehearsal, they start to learn normal disco. And can you imagine that we had in junior semi-finalists?
Yes, it's a great moment for us because we stay in Cali for represent the IDO and FITS, the Italian Federation, and it's a big pleasure for us to win this competition. And another great moment was the World Games, and we represent the IDO and the FITS in the World Games in Poland, and we won the third place.
2008, I was taking part in Ukrainian So You Think You Can Dance TV show, and I won it. So it was all the styles, and tap dance was my joker, my main strength, yes. And Ukraine loved it, so I was super happy. It was an amazing experience. And after that, I went to Riza to the championship, and this TV program, they brought a team to film my experience in Riza.
For me, it was a great feeling to know that we are cooperating and that we are having several friendships. And it is not only among the dancers and the dance teachers, but even among the Presidium members and the national associations, because I can still feel it nowadays as sometimes when I share my memories or some nice photos on the Facebook, and then I get a lot of comments telling how they like to be here and how they like to work with us together, or to compete at our World Championships and so on. And this is a beautiful feeling, which gives me power even nowadays.
Zuzana Nezvalova, he is godmother for disco in Ukraine, and he came to Ukraine. We organized Congress, and it was starts. And as you know now, Ukraine is the champion in disco.
Donc le costume était toujours le même pour la compétition, mais une couleur différente.
For 3 years, he had the same outfit, the same grab, and but he simply dyed it into different colors for 3 years, and no one has noticed that it was the same outfit, but it's just the color that has changed.
And I told him, Piotr is so famous and so beautiful place. You have to organize IDO World Championship. He told me, Irena, it's not possible. How? It's big. I don't know how. And what we have now?
20 years.
20 years.
Very funny story is when we rent from Sweden dance machine that was very popular, but to Poland this machine came the first time, and by ship, and 2 days before competition called me from the border or from the ship, I don't remember, and asking me, you have a transport from Sweden? Yes. Your piano be coming after 2 days. And I was, excuse me? Yeah, you rent a piano, yes? Piano. No, dance machine. And some guys check in internet, and, oh, sorry, because your machine going to Germany.
A lot of people there. And also the most important, I was mixing dancers, you know? I made like a big show in Slovenia and in South Africa that is called Slow Africa. I named it Slow Africa Show. And we were actually preparing together for the World Championships, usually in Europe. And before we went there, we made like a evening show with some kind of a team, with a team that connected all the pieces together in a big story. and we were just, we were all, like partying together by doing this. The audience was enjoying, the dancers were enjoying, and at the same time they were preparing themselves for the World Championship, and it connected all of them.
Good memories for Rimini from Italy.
Wow.
Competition, very good hall. Ferra Rimini, it is a very, very good place. I remember very nice time for Koper for Slovenia for European Championship from hip hop. And I remember Riza. This is not typical competition. This is second competition. It is, I don't know how this is speak for English, but this is not typical competition. I remember a very good competition of Hanover. I remember very, very exciting and very rich competition from Russia, for Moscow.
It was really wonderful to host people from so many countries, and look, I must say I'm really privileged to have a venue like Sun City. I think anybody running any event at Sun City can only be fantastic. It just has everything there.
We had formation from Vinnytsia. It was junior formation who took part first time in TAP championship, and they had a very interesting choreography, but with costume with elements, some animals score. And some people say it's not good, like Greenpeace, blah blah blah, and they won. They won TAP Junior Formation Championship.
Wow.
And the trainer of this formation, it was married couple from Vinnytsia, and they came back. We sent the letter from Ukrainian dance board that we really confirm that they are world champions to city governments. And can you imagine that they received apartments from government for free? For free.
Wow.
Yes, and after that they born baby. And really, can you imagine that idea that our federation also helps to family to be happy?
Me personally, when I was in taking part in IDO Gala, it was related to you, to Bill Fuller, and it was super cool to challenge, to compete, and to win.
And for me, it's very important that if I have the trust of the members and I got their votes to be elected, I always want to continue the work I was elected for. Sometimes it's not very easy because being a visionary and see different projects, and some other people say, oh, it's not time, oh, you're too fast. These are steps. I always say, okay, I will make 3 steps back, but I will always make 10 front. So I'm always in front.
It's a big mess. It's a big red heart. What IDO is for me and what those memories are.
And I have been named or given the award, which was very nice. And I must say, in a humble way, I was very proud of this 2010 as the IDO Man of the Decade. And at the same year, I got the Golden Needle and honorary membership of the German Dance Teacher Federation. So this was also that year. And the last one was 20 years IDO Show Dance World Championships in Riesa since I think it was in 2018, and in 19 the same with the Tap Dance World Championship.
Special thank you to Mr. Michael Vandt. You are, I think, the father of all tap dancers. You are our godfather. We love you so much. We know how big was the impact to tap dancing from you, and we are super happy that we have you.
When they gave me the award And Michael Wendt was the first one who was been giving an award many years back, so the man of decade. And when I had competition here in Denmark, I did not know it, but then they gave me as a second one the award, the woman of decade. So that was really a great pleasure for me, and it was such a big surprise. And Hannah has always been Mama Ido, taking care
yes.
of the dancers, and later on taking care of the rules. And after Michael is out, so then I'm the oldest one in the Presidium, not by age, but by time.
And obviously in your, as a dance politician, dance fanatic all your life, I'm sure you received many awards.
Of course, when suddenly the doors came up and they came in with two big glass bricks, you know, with champagne, and everybody was standing up and applauding for 5 minutes. So it was a fantastic moment, of course.
When I received the Golden Award as merit contribution to dance towards dance in IDO and Gibraltar, I received it by the late friend Bill Fowler. It was a great honor for me in 2003, a great day. Yeah. In 2012, I received the MBE, the Member of the British Empire, in contribution to dance and arts, and I received it by the Majesty the Queen Elizabeth in Buckingham Palace. That was a very proud moment for me and my family, my lovely and helpful wife throughout these years. Actually, she was the first one with me since 1981. She was my secretary until now, 40 years. And also especially mention my good friend Seamus. Thank you, Seamus. Yes, Seamus, because you are the guy who was always pulling and going and helping and doing all the work. It couldn't have been possible if it wasn't for you two.
But I'll tell you, back in 2018, it was the pinnacle of my award season. Our national government awarded me a citation for my work in dance. Now, I didn't go to school for dance. I didn't own a dance school for 42 years like Bill did. So for me, it was the highlight of my career because it's not something I thought I was working at. It was just something that I was doing because I loved doing it. And even when I wasn't the chairperson of the Disciplinary and Ethics Committee, I was still working behind the scenes and making sure that we were representing the United States in a positive way. So that award means a hell of a lot to me.
Dominique was very loved by all his friends in IDO, Mr. Prescott, myself, many family members of IDO.
And I felt very honored to receive this award, and I felt even very touched, because this was really the appreciation of 3 decades of my work. And this work was done by me for the sake of the dancers, of the dance teachers. And I still have this feeling in me nowadays. And if anybody would ask me to work on this mission, then I would, on the same day, I would jump in, and you could count on me.
Un disco dance, première fois, 8 ans de 3.
Yes, he says that all these awards just make him very happy and proud, and yes, it was some memory that he will never forget. And he just say again that in 1992 he was old, he was 30, and he did a world championship again just for fun, like just to know how. For fun. Yes, and he finished second at this championship.
IDO applauds you and thanks you for everything, to the extent that you were awarded a Lifetime Achievement Award last year.
Yes, yes.
How do you feel about that?
It was a wonderful surprise and a wonderful honor. And I'm very grateful. I really am. I love the IDEO family, and I'm so appreciative of the acceptance it has given me.
I did receive an award from the Premier of Ontario for working with youth. And I did receive an award from IDEO. I believe it was in 2006.
It was made by Bill Fowler in Riga. And Bill is one of the persons who just led Russia, Russian Dance Organization, to develop rapidly, because his support was very appreciated, and all Russian dancers remember him through many years attending at World Dance Olympiad or other IDEO events. He was always polite, and when he just gave me this prize in Riga, it was so exciting. And of course, I understood at the moment that it's not only my work for IDEO, it's also work of my organization, or Russian Dance Organization.
Oh, I didn't expect that. It was, as you said, as our national anniversary. We had a big party on a Rhine River cruise ship, and a lot of people were there, and we had some IDEO people as well, because we invited the IDEO Presidium. And my colleague Carsten and I got awarded with this certificate for our outstanding work, and I was very impressed by it. I didn't expect it, and I felt very proud. And it's still in my room, it's on my wall, and I'm proud of it.
I'm really proud because I feel like it's all about the hard work you are getting in and you're giving in, and something's coming back, and I'm really proud of it.
To know that I had accomplished so many things in such a short time, I didn't realize the impact that I would have. I have gotten so many accolades from being a choreographer at IDEO over the years, and people couldn't believe that, things like I had won the championship 7 years in a row. Like, that was unprecedented, So that, and to me, I was like, oh, that's another win. Okay, that's great.
I remember Bill Fowler and Kirsten Danielsen when they presented this award to me. Being part of this selected people is the greatest honor as a choreographer.
Prize that Plisna Zveza, so National Association, Slovenia Dance Association, giving me, it was 1993, for that first winning of World Champions of whole Slovenian dance. So it was my first. And then to 1915, they give me like Teachers Association, the biggest our prize. It was Yenko prize. So I was so proud. Prizes from our Olympic Committee. So, and the first was 2012.
I just felt so honored, and I was like, because, of course it's a big thing being a world champion, but I was always trying to just not to get overwhelmed by that. So I would never expect anything like this award. So when they told me that, I was just very happy, and it just feels good. It feels nice.
I hope this stays private, but I actually started to cry because it was such an emotional thing, because, Gloria Fish was very big shoes to fill. She was very loved in the IDEO, extremely loved in the IDEO, and to come into her position in Sabod, in my own country, was a great honor. but then to be recognized by IDO, which Gloria believed in so much, you know, and I've like tried to continue her legacy with that. So it was a very emotional thing when I got that email. So I'm really honored and humbled about it. Yeah.
IDEO give me IDEO award for outstanding choreographer and trainer, and it's really nice to be a part of IDEO Hall of Fame. This is just one award, but a big award for me, and I'm really it's an honor for me.
Working for organization to do this, working for time. It is not possible to have success for 1 month or 1 year. I think this is how I'm working for. I am not dancing. I am not working how teacher, how coach, how trainer. And I stay only working for organization. This has changed my time, changed my life too. But it is possibility because I have a very, very interesting family. This is not typical family, and this is one family for IDEO.
We believe always in this federation, so we try to help this federation to come big and big. So it's a big pleasure for us.
To get that recognition, like every team knows, when you work so hard, and obviously it's not just about that week of competition, it's the whole year in preparation for it as well. So to get that recognition, and I think also what's been special to me as well is the recognition from other choreographers and coaches around the world who have been so complimentary of our dancers and our work as well. And I don't know, it was just a real, I mean, we were just over the moon. It was just such an honor for people to just go, yes, this is what you've done, and we recognize that you've done that.
Oh, it's really nice when someone thinking about organizers. It is not a moment for money. It is not a moment for red carpet, but the moment when this statue I have till today in my office, where is in the most important place. But I was really, really very happy.
2014, they give me again and then again for all of winnings for Stasha Tushar. You remember her? She was really amazing. She was winning like a child, junior, and then like adults. All of, I don't know if
everything.
Everything, yes. I don't remember how many winnings she had. And then for Nea Horvat, it was so many.
How do you feel of being part of the Hall of Fame and obviously now also part of the honorary board?
I'm really, really grateful. I'm quite emotional, and because dancing is all my life, and it's always been my life. And I've done a lot of things in Finland besides dancing. I've been a big TV star and stuff like that. So everybody around here knows me. But still, dancing is the thing where I was born. Dancing is the thing that I'm going to do all my life. Whatever happens, everything else can disappear, but dancing never disappears.
I think a great future will come, and still hope for another 40 years, maybe. Hopefully. Life.
Je suis contente de voir que depicts.
So it's become a much bigger, now it's a world organization.
IDEO will grow for sure, because it is the competitions IDEO have are really good. Quality is really, really high, and it means something to someone to come and to win. And that is first thing we have to keep, all of us.
It has been a big change from the last president to the new president. Michael Wendt was a fantastic president during his time. He was working really a lot and great for the IDEO and making all these contacts in Asia and all this work. It was really fantastic. And I think now with Velibor we had new visions. We had a new possibility to see the IDO in another light?
I think the most important thing that now the new generation, like you, Seamus, and of course Professor Velibor Sturidic and Fiona Johnson, and the new people, and also in the Presidium, they have now a lot of experience themselves. They are not the young ones anymore, but they are the next generation, and I'm very confident that they will do it very, very nicely.
So my belief is that we will continue to grow and we will continue to stay together.
I think we are going very well because we have very good and experienced and well-prepared leadership. And we are also using many different advisors. So I think the ground that was done by Michael Vance's generation and Kirsten and Bill, this one was very strong, because I remember that was dream and goal of Moreno, of our founder, of Moreno Polidori, to have always peace, or to have somebody which will in peace work together for benefit of dance.
What's happened with IDO during these years is incredible. I mean, the structure, how it was organized differently, and the growth, more and more countries, all the competition was completely different from the start. The education come in, and it was really, it went really a professional world organization, which everyone could be proud of.
Those people who back then maybe thought that they could never dance or they could never compete, now it's so wonderful that everybody can compete. All the small kids and all the... I have a lot of old ladies dancing with me, me is 50 plus, 50 minus. And dancing is for everybody. It has changed. Of course, it's wonderful to have the real championships, those who are professionals. But at the same time, it's much a bigger thing so that we can take all people with us, with disabilities, whatever height, whatever, how big or small you are, what color you are, everything is everybody is welcome. And that's the biggest thing. And I'm proud that I've been part of it. It's not me alone, it's not nobody alone, but us all together. And that's the biggest thing. It's wonderful to get prizes and awards, but the most beautiful thing is to see people dance.
Therefore, I see it very positive, and the people who are leading the IDO in the future, the next, I would say, years, have to be very careful to see where's the streaming, where does it go to, what does the youth of the world want, what's the fashion, what's the music industry, and all this. But I have no doubt they will do a great job, and like we did it in the past.
Michael and Bill really worked well with Velibor to really mentor him, to make him the man that he is today and the leader that he has become. And I know Michael's happy. I don't think Bill could be happier. Looking down from above, this is what he wanted. And, there were certain times in Bill's IDO career when he said, well, it's time to bring on some new blood. We have to grow. If we stay stagnant as a group of old retirees or pensioners, it's not going to get anywhere.
No, well, I know Velibor, of course, very well, because he was also in my Presidium. I like him. He's a great guy, actually. And I have to admit that you have done what I thought we should be doing more, and that the coronavirus has actually caused a lot of problems, of course, in the world, but it has also brought something new and something innovative, which I like very much, and that is the online connections, because you can connect people around the world in a complete different way. And even if I'm 80 years old, actually, I am one of the youngest in the new my new federation. I can see the future, and you are clever enough to do it. I have to admit that your competition, this continent versus continent, was a great success. I think the IDO has a great future.
I think we are one of the leading organizations also in this continent versus continent. All the other tried to do the competition in real life, which is, it's okay, but nobody knows if during the next time there will be another COVID or whatever. And then we are in a position that we can change in a minute from a normal competition to an online competition.
And Velibor is a strong leader who has the wherewithal and the foresight to bring this into a modern day business. It's too big not to. You know, the time has come where some things that we did as volunteers or people are still doing as volunteers, it needs to get outsourced because we're too big.
But with people like yourself and Velibor and Fiona and the wonderful people that you have on the Presidium, I can only see success. And, you know, for all of you, it's not a job, it's a passion. And that can only mean success and growth.
Where will IDO go in the future? It's only going to go up. And, you know, as we know, Richard Branson is leaving very shortly on a trip into the stars. And who knows, maybe we'll get IDO on another planet.
I am 100% sure that IDO will be very successful also in the future, because it's so many dedicated people working for the same goal. So I have no doubt that IDO will survive as a strong, serious, important dance organization in the future. Absolutely.
I feel strongly, and I feel now, because now we have again a new era with the new acting president and the Presidium being really active, and we have, although the COVID-19 has been horrible, but we have had a lot of Zoom meetings and a lot of good, really good meetings where we have developing dancing forward. So I feel that if we keep on doing the same thing, remember that we are all needed. It's not a one-man show or two-man show, it's thousands of people together, and then we get stronger. We can be, IDO, we could be, and we can be the positive version, so that we don't fight, don't argue, we concentrate on dancing and welcoming everybody.
IDO has two sides, sport and artistic side, you know. We have energy which will win.
Velibor has stepped right into the shoes and is bringing IDO forward. Sport Director Fiona is a true force in the progression of IDO, as well as all the Presidium members. And nothing actually in this world unites us more than sports and the arts, because it doesn't matter what country we're from or what color our skin is or what our beliefs are. We in this industry see only the talent that our dancers bring to the floor each and every time, and the compassion they bring to the floor. And I think that is what makes IDO special more than any other dance organization in the world.
I think that IDO has one very unique thing. We accept members that are very, very different. They can be culture, they can be sport, they can be a collective of more organizations together. We are so different, and we are always working in the trendy ways, we'll say in a younger perspective. Our structure has been changed many times. Even now we are thinking how to be up to date so our organization is according to all different rules and regulations, but not to forget to be open enough for our young dancers. And until we will develop in this way, I see a very good future. I see people, younger people even, that want to work, would like to be part of IDO. I see us that we are really waiting and hoping to push these big organizations to the next levels.
And now is the time to say that, okay, we are here till 40 years, we are here for the next 40 years, for sure. And here, I would like to say that if you are not you in front of me, but some other person in IDEO, you can find the right association where you construct your project, where you can develop your school, your dancer, your country without a problem. Because I'm sure that in this moment we are the only real dance sport federation.
And I think IDEO is doing quite a good job, especially during this pandemic, where IDEO really tried to entertain and provide our dancers and organization with as much as they could. Brilliant lectures, this wonderful continent versus continent online competition, and many more. So nobody couldn't get tired. So we've been all busy during that time. And when we start now with live competitions, it's not starting from zero. We are just continue. That's brilliant.
That IDEO is really a unique organization because we have a special atmosphere. We have feelings like we are all together, like in really dance family. And this, no one organization haven't.
But, for me, Very Bozarich is now the acting president. He became, I'm sure, the new president, but first of all, is a friend. He's a person that you can speak with a lot of things, you can discuss, you can construct a project together. I worked with him so many years in the adjudication committee, and I started with him to construct some different things.
Definitely, Willibor is going to be a powerful leader in IDEO. He just has all the attributes to make a great leader. He's compassionate, he's very understanding, but he's also very fair. He's very direct. And I think in handling all these different people, dancers and choreographers and everybody running their own associations all feel like they're the best. So you need somebody that's quite strong that can see his direction of IDEO moving forward. So I really think that the team that is now in the Presidium is, even with Fiona, I love her dearly. Also respect her a lot. All of you guys that are just behind the scenes doing what you do. I just think that IDEO can only go better and stronger.
I highly appreciate the new president and also the new Presidium members because I know how big work they have already done for IDEO. And my vision is that there will be even more and more need for IDEO than formerly ever.
He hoped to that IDEO continue to work in this way, but in this moment, for him, is not very clear the position of WDSF against IDEO. He hoped that this situation not create some problem in IDEO because a lot of discipline born in IDEO, and for him must continue to develop here.
Fiona organized unbelievable this online championship. It was great idea. This gala show, amazing. We can organize everything because we are professional. We know what we do, how we do, and we want to make people happy.
For me, most of all, it's important to continue to work, to rise, to develop, and to grow, just not to stagnate. For me, one of the worst things in life is to stagnate.
I think this is Fiona work very, very good for this subject. This is that competition must better every time. A lot of people want dancing for IDEO because we have a very good roles. We have clear roles.
Well, I think it's quite exciting, actually. I have noticed there's been some very good social media developments over the last year. I think it's moving in a really good direction. I think it's I don't know whether it's an intentional rebound, but it's really kind of fresh at the moment and current. And I think it's it's kind of going where the dance world is naturally going. I think it will just continue to grow and grow. Fingers crossed.
First of all, I would like to say that for me, like IDEO is a very important part of my life. I met amazing, excellent people, because it's people who live the same life I do. And it was really every time I come to the competition, I come to the workshop and the seminars or any events of IDEO, it's always amazing time.
The IDEO is it's moving on very fast, and it's absolutely on the right track. I like the development of IDEO, always taking care of the situations around, because things are always changing. You cannot stick on what you founded or what you worked on 20 years or 30 years ago. You always have to move. We all know that, and IDEO is doing that.
If you are in this organization more than year, 5 years, 10 years, more than 20 years, it is your family. IDEO is real sport, and we need a place of the Olympic Games.
I hope that we will still be like we are, good friends, and with really a lot of amazing dancers.
The good thing is that always young people are coming in, and we always have this mixture of younger and not so younger people in IDEO, which is precious, and it's good to have it, and it's good that the older one accept it, and that the younger one also accept the older ones, and this is also something very unique.
I saw during this pandemic situation many of these professional master classes which IDEO gave, and I really love them, because I can see that the disco spirit is there, the shows. So it's really good to see that IDEO is going forward, and many really great dancers are coming out from IDEO still. So I'm proud to be a part of its history.
I mean, even now, IDEO is obviously the biggest dance organization in the world, I think. Because I've been invited to judge in different organizations, and nothing can compare, I believe, to IDEO. That's a fact that we all know and we are very proud of.
IDEO is still one of the best for opening new doors and opportunities for the young dancers, so they can introduce themselves to the whole world and become a professional dancers, coaches, and choreographers. IDEO is every year bigger and better and give us new challenges. For sure, has IDEO a bright future. It's only necessary to follow the young, listen to older, and stay professional as possible. And I think that IDEO know how to do that.
I see it going further in the future, like the way how the dancers are kind of using it, because like IDEO is for the dancers. And of course, I think it's important that all the trainers, all the dancers are staying like really humble and patient and train a lot to bring us also the level up high.
I'm sure that we continue high level, next level.
How has it been working or being under these different people?
It's very easy, because all these people are crazy. We are the same. We all are crazy about dance.
Our special thanks and kisses, mwah, and hugs. Irena, you are the best.
Of course, heart is for the IDEO.
Of course, I wish all the best IDEO, and how I see the future for IDEO. Thank you. First of all, I would like to say that I wish to have more government support in all of the country.
For us, we have to motivate also these professional dancers to come to IDEO and still try to represent their country. I think that would be a very good path to really be strong, yes?
I'm looking forward to see IDEO as a motherland of competitionary culture and sport together. So, as I am a dreamer, the IDEO should be the biggest, the stronger, and the one in the world.
The only thing I would like to see is that somehow that IDEO could make dance an Olympic sport. Yeah. I think that's the only thing that IDEO is short of.
So thank you very much, IDEO. I cannot be thankful enough for this experience. You changed my life completely.
IDEO, I wish you all the best for the 40th birthday and many more to come.
I would like to wait for a few more, let's say, years or decades, and maybe to leave some historians to give their final evaluation of everything. But IDEO will certainly last for many years to come and be one of the world's best dance organizations. What the previous generations have left to us is invaluable. And the era of Polidori and the era of the new Presidium since 1998 have had a great impact on the whole world dance scene. What the younger generations need to do, I mean, I consider myself as a younger generation together with you and of course the whole existing Presidium. That's not an easy task because the time and the circumstances have changed drastically in the last, let's say, 10-15 years. I mean, this global way of thinking and moving and with the IT technologies, so we have speed up the whole life. So in that way also the communication among the dancers all over the world is different. So we have quite a lot of opponents, quite a lot people that think they can do it, but IDEO is unique. What we have, I think our experience and knowledge with the large number of dancers on all 6 continents is, I think, our best card for the future.
IDEO, Ido, incredibile, bravo, tanti auguri, happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
Dear friends, what a great IDEO documentary celebrating 40 years of excellence in dance. I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope that we will see ourselves very, very soon at the next IDEO event. But for now, let's continue to celebrate IDEO 40.